Hi, this is Megan from DIY Domination. Have you ever wanted to learn how to create a sustainable and self-sufficient ecosystem in your backyard? Welcome to the fascinating world of permaculture, a design philosophy that seeks to create productive and sustainable ecosystems which mimic natural patterns. The beauty of permaculture is its adaptability, allowing you to design a garden that fits your unique needs and environment. It's about more than just growing food. It's about creating a balanced ecosystem that is self-sustaining and beneficial to all its inhabitants. From site selection and observation to water management and soil improvement, from plant selection and guild planting to maintenance, energy efficiency, and community engagement, the journey of establishing a permaculture garden is as rewarding as it is transformative. So, whether you're a seasoned gardener or a green-thumbed novice, there's a place for you in this sustainable gardening revolution. Let's dive into the process of creating a permaculture garden, step by step. By the way, if you like this video and want to see more videos with sustainable gardening techniques, make sure to click the subscribe button and leave a comment down below saying "I subscribed," and we'll do our best to reply to your comment. The first step in creating a permaculture garden is selecting the right site. The perfect spot is like a stage set for a grand performance where sunlight, water access, soil quality, and local climate are the leading characters. Sunlight is the life force of your garden. Choosing a spot with abundant sunshine is essential for photosynthesis, the magical process that turns sunlight into plant food. Water access, on the other hand, is like the garden's lifeblood. A site close to a water source will ensure your plants never go thirsty. Now let's not forget about soil quality. The soil is the cradle of life for your plants. Rich, fertile soil will provide the necessary nutrients for your plants to thrive. Lastly, understanding your local climate and the microclimates on your property can help you select plants that will flourish in your garden. Once you've chosen the right site, it's time to observe. Observation is key in permaculture. You need to understand your site's patterns and characteristics. It's about watching, noting, and familiarizing yourself with the subtle nuances of your chosen site. Start by observing the sunlight. Where does it fall throughout the day? Which areas bask in full sun and which lie in the shade? This will influence where you place certain plants, as some need full sun while others thrive in partial shade. Next, consider the wind. Where does it come from? How strong is it? Wind can be a vital factor, affecting temperature and evaporation. By understanding wind patterns, you can create windbreaks to protect your plants and regulate your garden's climate. Water flow is another important aspect. Where does rainwater collect or drain away? These areas could become key water features or be used to hydrate thirsty plants. Remember, in permaculture, we aim to work with nature, not against it. Don't forget about the existing vegetation. What plants are already thriving on your site? This can give you clues about the soil quality and the local ecosystem. Moving on to zone and sector analysis, this is about organizing your garden based on usage and external influences. Think of it as a bullseye. The center, Zone 1, is the area you visit most often, maybe where your herbs and salad greens are. As we move outward, the zones are visited less frequently, with Zone 5 left wild. Sector analysis is about understanding external influences like the sun, wind, and water flow we mentioned earlier. This can inform your design, helping you to place elements in the most advantageous locations. For example, placing a chicken coop in a sunny sector near the house means warm chickens and easy egg collection. Or siting a compost pile in a shady sector helps prevent it from drying out. With a good understanding of your site, you can start designing your garden. Remember, observation and analysis are ongoing processes. As your garden evolves, so too will your understanding of its unique characteristics and patterns. So keep watching, keep learning, and keep growing. Managing water and improving soil are crucial steps in setting up your permaculture garden. Water is the lifeblood of any garden. And in a permaculture system, it's about more than just keeping plants hydrated. It's about creating an environment where water works for you. One method is by designing swales. These shallow, broad trenches, often lined with absorbent material, catch and hold rainwater, allowing it to seep into the ground gradually. This way, water is retained in the landscape, reducing the need for manual watering. Another water harvesting feature is berms, mounds of earth that can be strategically placed to slow down and direct the flow of water. Berms can be planted with a variety of vegetation, creating a lush, water-efficient landscape. And let's not forget other water storage methods like rain barrels and ponds. Rain barrels can be used to collect and store rainwater from roofs, while ponds can serve as a reservoir during dry periods and a habitat for beneficial wildlife. Now, let's turn our attention to the soil. The health of your soil is vital to the success of your permaculture garden. Start with a soil test to understand its composition and nutrient levels. Then, get ready to get your hands dirty with some soil building techniques. Mulching is a fantastic way to improve soil structure and fertility. It involves covering the soil with organic materials like straw or leaves, which decompose over time, enriching the soil with nutrients. Composting is another must-do. By recycling kitchen and garden waste, you're creating a nutrient-rich amendment that can be mixed into your soil to boost its fertility and structure. Cover cropping and green manures are also beneficial. These plants are grown specifically to be turned into the soil, adding organic matter and nutrients. And remember, soil improvement is not a one-time task. It's an ongoing process that requires regular attention and care. With water and soil managed, it's time to choose your plants. In permaculture, the plants you choose and how you arrange them are crucial. It's not just about planting randomly, it's about creating a harmonious, self-sustaining ecosystem that mimics nature. And that's where the concept of guild planting comes in. Guild planting is all about grouping together plants that complement and benefit each other. It's like creating a little community of plants that work together, each contributing something unique. For instance, you might have nitrogen-fixing plants, which enrich the soil, paired with dynamic accumulators that draw up nutrients from deep within the ground. You could add in some pest-repelling species to keep the unwanted bugs at bay. It's all about synergy and mutual support. But before you start creating your plant communities, you need to choose the right plants. And this is where your initial observations and site analysis come into play. You'll want to select plants that are well adapted to your local climate and soil conditions. Native species are often a good choice, as they're naturally suited to the local environment and can attract beneficial wildlife. Speaking of wildlife, don't forget to consider them in your plant selection. Many plants can attract beneficial insects, birds, and other creatures that can help keep your garden healthy. For example, flowering plants can lure in pollinators, while certain trees and shrubs might provide shelter for birds who, in turn, control pests. And then there's the concept of edible landscaping. Why not incorporate a variety of fruits, vegetables, herbs, and perennial plants into your garden design? Not only will it enhance the biodiversity of your garden, but it will also provide you with a bounty of fresh, healthy food. Imagine stepping out into your garden and plucking a ripe tomato or a handful of fresh herbs for your dinner. It's the ultimate farm-to-table experience. So, take the time to carefully select your plants and arrange them into beneficial guilds. It's like putting together a jigsaw puzzle, each piece uniquely shaped, yet all fitting together to create a beautiful and productive whole. As your garden takes shape, let's talk about maintaining it. A permaculture garden isn't a set-and-forget project. It requires ongoing maintenance and observation. Let's delve into mulching, a critical task to keep your garden thriving. Mulching helps retain soil moisture, suppress weeds, and improve soil fertility. Organic materials like straw, leaves, or wood chips can be used. It's like a cozy blanket for your garden, keeping it warm and nourished. Composting is another essential practice. By establishing a composting system, you can recycle kitchen and garden waste, turning it into black gold for your soil. It's a beautiful cycle of life, where waste is not waste, but a resource. Now let's talk about energy efficiency. In permaculture, we aim to design pathways and access points for efficient movement. We also use nature to our advantage. Windbreaks and shade, for example, can regulate temperature, saving energy, and creating comfortable spaces for both humans and wildlife. And then we have perennial plantings. These are the plants that keep on giving, year after year. By prioritizing perennial crops, you reduce the need for annual replanting. Think fruit and nut trees, berry bushes, and perennial vegetables. These plantings provide food, shade, and habitat, all while asking for very little in return. Succession planting is another smart strategy. It involves planning for a continuous harvest by staggering planting times and utilizing different crop varieties. It's a bit like setting up a relay race for your plants, ensuring there is always something ripening and ready to eat. Finally, don't forget the power of community engagement. Share your knowledge with others in your community. Collaborate with neighbors on shared resources and projects. After all, permaculture is about creating sustainable and resilient communities as much as it is about growing food. Remember, permaculture is a flexible approach. Feel free to adapt these steps to your specific site and needs. With observation, patience, and a bit of creativity, you can establish a thriving permaculture garden that not only feeds your family but also contributes to a healthier planet. If you like this video, then make sure to also watch these videos for more DIY sustainable gardening tips.